everyone? I'm Skylar Smith. I'm a recent graduate of the Howard University, and I'm a former captain of the women's swimming and diving team. I graduated with a degree in sports medicine and a minor in chemistry, and I am from Los Angeles, California. Going to Howard was probably the best decision I could have ever made for myself. I made some of the best friends. I had the best coaching staff and the most elite, brilliant professors any woman could ask for. And I'm eternally grateful for Howard giving me that perfect experience. Definitely a 10 out of 10. But now we're in this global pandemic. COVID-19 changed daily life. The pools are closed. The beaches are closed. Everything's closed. But then I got this call from Black Kids Swim asking me to join them to Senegal and swim 3.5 miles to the island of Gorée. 3.5 miles. Not in a pool where there's lane lines, walls, and a 5 seconds rest in between sets, but in the ocean where there's waves, currents, winds, and little fish in the back. 3.5 miles? That's crazy. But I'm really nervous, of course, but I'm super excited because I've never been to Africa, West Africa, all that. And it's definitely on one of my bucket lists. So this is more of a cultural experience for me. I'm ready to experience how they dress, what they eat, what music they listen to, what they do for fun, just all that. And coming from California to Howard, I experienced a lot of different people's cultures, different types of people, all walks of life. So I'm ready to just go deeper into that and just see where my ancestors came from. But of course, the open water events, the biggest part of the event. I'll basically be like a cultural ambassador. I'll be like a swim ambassador. I'll be a swim ambassador, and I'm so excited. Coming from being a captain on the women's team till now has shown me what leadership takes and how being that face is so important. No words can explain how excited I am for this project, and I hope you guys are just as excited. I need you guys to hold me accountable. Text me, DM me on Instagram saying, Skylar, did you swim today? I didn't see you swim today. You better get in that pool, Skylar. Come with me through this journey, and I'm so excited for what it has to bring. And let's do it! Let's do it!
Skylar is our little Disney princess. When we first met Skylar, I think she had some apprehensions about being a part of the program when she came to campus, but just uncanny. She on our very first day on campus, she was interviewed by the news about swimming, and during that time it was the Olympics when Simone Manuel won the gold medal, and I think that solidified that it was just destined for her to be a part of the program. Skylar, I think as a competitive swimmer, she was a sprinter, so 3.5 miles is going to probably rock her world.
What's up, everybody? My name is Noah Nicholas. I'm an alum of Howard University, class of 2020, perfect vision. Yep. I'm also an alum of Howard University's swimming and diving program. I swam all 4 years. I was a captain my last year, majored in sports medicine, minored in chemistry, and I'm from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Yep. So the Gorée Project, they told me I could go to Africa. And I was like, did you say the motherland? And number two, they told me I could swim. Anybody who knows me knows I love to swim. And number three, I figured I can inspire so many African Americans and people of color to first learn how to swim and then participate in a race that has so much meaning behind it. That's been so important to me. That's always been one of my goals. And so here I am. I don't know if y'all know, but we're going on this journey together, okay? And so I'm super excited. I can't wait to get started. Let's get it, y'all.
Noah, I mean, that guy is just, he's one in a million. He's such a special young man. Watching him being able to mature in the program has been put big smiles on everyone's face. He's a warm, kind-hearted gentleman, and quite honestly, one of the hardest workers that I've ever seen in my life. There were times where we'd have to say, Noah, I think you need to dial it back a little bit, but he has a mind that's really focused on getting better and putting in the work to do so. And Noah, I think, will have a slightly easier transition, him being a competitive swimmer and distance specialist. However, he's never had to do quite this amount of distance in one competition.
I am just elated that two wonderful recent graduates of Howard University, the real HU, were chosen to participate in a project which links and buttresses those cultural traits and strains that were not completely severed during the Great Maafa, during the enslavement of African people, the transatlantic slave trade. Much was lost, but much was also retained. And I'm very appreciative of projects like these, especially this project, because it gives not only African Americans an opportunity to actually participate in something stereotypically that we were thought we didn't participate in, which is swimming. It also gives our brothers and sisters from Senegal, brothers and sisters from the continent, an opportunity to see that African American people have not totally lost all of our culture or all of our cultural milieu was not lost because of the enslavement that our people experienced here. And through this project, we can begin to dismantle some of the ills and some of the negative ways we have been impacted by our enslavement. And our brothers and sisters who may have a colonized mindset can begin to dismantle some of the similar byproducts of colonization. And we can come to the understanding that we are not the same people, but we are one people.
This project is just amazing. I think being able to have Howard swimmers traveling to the continent of Africa to participate in a swimming event that is not very well known. This is the first that I had ever heard about the swimming competition, and it shocks me, having been so long ingrained in the swimming world and the aquatic community. So I think it also leads right into something that Howard University is always consistently teaching us as students, as staff, as faculty, about being leaders for our nation and our global community. So to see the two of them being able to step outside of their box and return to a place where we all came from, the continent of Africa, is just an amazing story altogether. Being a part of the Gorée Project with Black Kids Swim for them is maybe, hopefully not a once in a lifetime opportunity, but a first in a lifetime opportunity.
I am a painter, an artist / educator, but I also paint murals. And one of what I would argue prior to 2020, the three most important works of art ever created, one of them is the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, most of which was painted by Michelangelo, commissioned by the Pope. And the reason why I think that is so important, because there is an image of God and an image of Adam, Eve, but that image of God was intentionally taken around the world and used to conquer other folks. I would argue that that image is as important, or let me say, as effective, more effective than any cannon or gun ever created. That image of God as a white man, as a gray-haired white man, similar to Santa Claus, Gandalf, Dumbledore. They're all the same image, actually, which, if you look at some images of Lee, this is a similar type of aesthetic. So as a muralist, I understand how powerful imagery can be. So I question not simply the Confederate statues, but specifically the one at Stone Mountain, which is large in scale and etched or carved into this mountain. What impact has that completed work had and continues to have on the psyche of individuals that witness that in person, not just see it on a whiteboard in a classroom or on social media, but actually in real time experience that? So I was wondering, Noah, if you were conscious of, because some of that impact is non-conscious or what we could consider subconscious. Are you aware of ways that that image has impacted you and impacts you?
I get what you're saying. I think that's really true, like how a lot of images can shape or impact individuals. I do think that for people who relate to the Confederacy or those generals and that president on the carving, I think it has a more impact for them because it encourages them in a way. So
Right. But what does it do for you or could have had on your mother's generation, my mother's generation?
I think for a lot of people, it can be symbols of intimidation. Just like the Confederate flag, when people ride around it in, around city with the Confederate flag, I think a lot of it, they see it as an attempt to intimidate or oppress the minorities or black people. So I think for a lot of people, people see it as that.
Full transparency, on my way from Baltimore to Richmond yesterday, while in Northern Virginia, I happened to drive next to a royal blue pickup truck with a large Confederate flag waving from it. And I noticed that when I noticed it and I saw it, I had the same feeling I feel when a cop pulls up behind me. Even before the cop flashes his lights. Or if I hear siren while I'm, close to me while I'm driving. So that just happened yesterday. Anyone who does the commute from Richmond to Baltimore will tell you that there's a gentleman on private land who hoists a very large Confederate flag. And I can't tell you the amount of times I see it. Every time I see it, it catches me off guard. And I've been making this trek back and forth for 20 years. And, I liken that to the role that symbols and icons can play.
Me being in Stone Mountain right now is a way of resistance. The Confederate flag, which I'm actually standing under right now, was used for intimidation. The carving on the side of Stone Mountain was also, like we were talking about symbols, is used for intimidation. And so for me to be right here right now, carry out my business, exercise here, it doesn't give them the power. You see what I'm saying? That's what my mom was talking about with her story when she got into a fight with the boy that called her the N-word. She regained that power once she confronted him. And I feel like I'm doing the same way by living here, being surrounded by Stone Mountain and caring about my business and not even giving it any attention. Because that's what a lot of bullies want. They want attention. And I look at a lot of symbols like this as just intimidation and as a bullying tactic. And so me being here is an act of resistance, and I feel powerful.
Hey, it's Skylar Smith here. I've been doing a lot of cardio and weight training, but I haven't been swimming that much. I do not feel ready. This is like a total transition for me from being a sprinter into going into long distance, okay? I'm really nervous, but I know I can do it in the end. Just pray for me.
I'm a little concerned that Skylar is not taking this seriously enough, so I'm going to give her a call today. Hey, Sky.
Hey, Coach Nick. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Hey, listen, I got a message from Black Kid Swim saying that you were a little nervous, a little anxious about your training and whatnot. So I was calling to check in on you, Captain.
Yeah, I'm just used to the 50s and 100s, so 3 miles, I don't really know about that one.
Just think about doing several 50s back to back. Just,
Oh my gosh, how many 50s is that? That's still...
It would be a lot of 50s, for sure. But no, there's no doubt you've got it under control. Just think about nice and smooth, smooth and steady. Get your rhythm, get your pace. I think a good trick for you, or a good concept for you, is sing some Disney songs. Go through the whole Moana album. Just go through the whole album while you're singing, and you'll be halfway in, no matter, before you know it.
That's a good one. I'll just swim like you. I'll just glide for 10 seconds, and then I'll glide again.
Yeah, that's right. You got to keep that stroke count real low. Why don't we maybe take a look at how you're swimming now and how your technique may need to change a little bit to adapt to the open water. Oh, that was terrible.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. How did that feel?
It feels slow, but I guess I just have to get used to it.
What I just saw, at least, it looked like you were moving more water, and you were able to really kind of just, cut through the water more with less effort, so making you more efficient. And especially in open water swims, you want to be able to maximize the distances you get and minimize the amount of effort that you're putting into it, because you don't want to tire out after the first 250 yards, and then you're just like praying that the finish line will come to you. Okay, almost like make your thumbs kind of grace right past the outer part of your thigh, so you make it nice and long. There you go. Push the water behind you. What type of training are you able to do now, and with what equipment?
Black Kid Swim sent me bungees. My sibling usually just holds the end of it, because I have nothing to hook it to really, and then I just swim in place for a little bit.
You're gonna have to do a whole lot more, and I know it's difficult to kind of find the way to train and how to make it happen. If you don't really ramp it up more, it's not gonna pay off for you. You're not gonna have a good experience whatsoever. The first triathlon I went into, I was very naive, and I thought that just because I was a competitive swimmer, this will be easy breezy. Man, that triathlon kicked my butt, and it told the story for about 2 weeks, on my body. So I don't want you to have to undergo that same type of, pain and disappointment. So you absolutely are gonna have to start working in the pool with longer swims, more consistently. And then as soon as you get the opportunity to consistently go and swim open water, you're gonna have to do it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, and there's no substitute for being able to get that type of training in that's going to benefit you for the actual race. So you really got to ramp it up, and it's got to start basically now.
I'm so nervous.
It's okay to be scared.
I'm so nervous.
Scared is okay.
I love the ocean. It's just like swimming out. It's like it's scarier than I imagined it to be.
Scary is okay, because that means you're going to give it the respect that it deserves. You're not going to just take it for granted. You're going to really do what it takes so that you can get through it. But it starts today. You absolutely have to ramp up starting today.
Next on the Gorée Project.
It's 6:15. I practice at 6:30, and I'm so scared. Like, what did I sign up for?
The Gorée Project is brought to you by Ebon, all natural hair care for women who swim and sweat.